Hello everyone, it's your boy, Risky Boy, back at it again with another video. No worries, Smash Disney is next, but I had this idea for about 2 weeks, and it just never left my head. Recently, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had the Wave 6 Booster Course Pass released around the world, which signified an end to Mario Kart 8 after almost a decade, which is insane. These tracks were all spectacular, and the music of them was fantastic. After listening to them in the jukebox menu in the game, I found that some of these songs made me feel like I'm in Disney World for some reason. Don't know why. I think I'm just obsessed with it. It's probably the reason. So I thought if these soundtracks were playing in the background, where would they go? So that is what is happening today. We're going to find a spot for all MK8 Deluxe Wave 6 tracks to call Disney World home. We're starting off fairly easy with Rome Avanti, which takes place in, well, Rome, Italy. And there's no way I'm putting it anywhere that is not the Italian Pavilion in Epcot's World Showcase. The track is actually pretty versatile. What I mean by this is the song doesn't need to be for a racing game. It sounds very much like you could just walk casually through somewhere, and specifically the Italian Pavilion in World Showcase. And this is honestly one of my favorite pavilions. I'm also biased because I'm also Italian, but I can just imagine myself walking through this pavilion, looking through the stores, and getting some delicious pasta. Also, have you been to Via Napoli? They have probably the best pizza you'll ever eat. If you ever go to Epcot, I highly recommend eating there. Next, we head to another fairly easy soundtrack to pinpoint an area you can go to. DK Mountain is very distinct and brilliant as a soundtrack. It makes you feel like you're in a jungle and sounds very similar to what you would hear in Discovery Island, which is right in front of the Tree of Life. It's a perfect spot. It really fits the atmosphere and feels epic when you go through this area. What made me pick this was actually the flute spikes in the song, because it fit perfectly into the atmosphere of Discovery Island, and also the instruments they used in the song, making it sound like animal noises at the end. It's brilliant. I did think of actually putting it in Adventureland, but I felt like Discovery Island made it feel better because of the jungle again and like the mountains. It feels like you're about to go discover something. And just watching the video, walking close to this giant visual masterpiece that is the Tree of Life makes this song 10 times better. Now, this was the first challenging song to place in Disney. We DC Circuit went from having a good soundtrack to an incredible soundtrack. Every note that hit in this song put me in awe. It's outstanding, it's beautiful. But where should it go? Well, I first thought of France, because there are many parts in this song that sound like it would come from this country, but the other half of this song didn't sound, I guess, Frenchy enough. So what's another spot? Well, let's actually head out of the park and actually head to Disney Springs. Now, I don't think this is a shoo-in, but most of the song sounded like some sort of a elevator feeling. Weird feeling, I know, but I think this song is so distinct and represents so many corners of the world that could be seen in many places around Disney World. But there was one spot in the atmosphere of Disney Springs and the Song of Daisy circuit that sounded very similar, and it really caught my attention. Listen to this. These two sections of each music track, respectively, sounded like a perfect swap for Daisy Circuit to take on Disney Springs. Piranha Plant Cove. Where will you go? This was hard, honestly, as I thought it had such a different sound to what you would hear in the parks that I didn't honestly know where to put it. My first thought went immediately to the water parks. Blizzard Beach, for obvious reasons, was not going to be in the spot. Typhoon Lagoon, however, actually seemed like a good spot for it. The atmosphere actually seemed very similar to the degree of Piranha Plant Cove. But I just wasn't feeling it merging with the soundtrack. So I was down to two options: Cali River Rapids or Pirates. One of them was more obvious than the other. You have no idea how close I was to going with Cali. The only thing that stopped me was listening to the soundtrack of the actual ride. It did not fit Piranha Cove. But Pirates, even though it doesn't sound similar to the soundtrack you hear on the ride, it fits the feel of Piranha Plant Cove. If you put it in the queue of the attraction, man, that fits so much better than the ride. I can just imagine listening to walking through the line, just smelling the pirate smell. But not smelling actual pirates. This is totally gonna get put out of context, isn't it? Just listen to this so we can move on. Let me just say, I was not expecting this song and track to go so hard. Madrid Drive is my favorite city track by far. The music is great, the track layout is fantastic, and soccer stadium. But here's the problem. Spain is not in the World Showcase. It was so. Back when Epcot first opened, it was planned to be there. Then it never happened. In a different timeline though, things would probably be different. But anyways, this whole time I was trying to put it somewhere at Epcot where I felt like this song could get thrown in, but nowhere really fit. So I did some research and it practically slapped me in the face. Why am I trying to go somewhere in the park where I can go to somewhere like a hotel? Specifically, Coronado Springs, which has the theming of colonial Spanish in Southwestern America. After listening to the atmosphere of this hotel, my only question was, why didn't I pick this earlier? It's absolutely perfect for Madrid Drive. Rosalina's Ice World is interesting as there are many places it can go, but at the same time, I feel that the options are very limited. The soundtrack brought me to at least 2 options though. Frozen Ever After in the Norway Pavilion at Epcot, or Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom. There are so many points where they could fit into both Frozen and Tomorrowland, but after listening to the soundtrack one more time, I found that Tomorrowland seems to be the better fit. I know, the icy music and the church bells in the background do not fit into Tomorrowland, but there are so many parts where the sound sounds so galactic, and it's really in the undertone of the song. It feels spacey and technologically advanced future. Well, more technologically advanced than now. But overall, there are equal parts of the song that can go to both Frozen and Tomorrowland. But I felt like Tomorrowland fit much better for Rosalina's Ice World. But let me know in the comments what you would choose. Would you choose Frozen Ever After or Tomorrowland for the home of Rosalina's Ice World? This song should be hard to find a spot. Bowser's Castle 3 is just rock music and shouldn't really fit into Disney parks. If Rock and Roller Coaster didn't exist, probably the only spot where the song could fit. I watched a ride through of this attraction with the music overlay, and it was spot on. That's honestly it for talking about Bowser's Castle 3 and Rock and Roller Coaster. This was fairly easy to put together.
Just getting started.
And finally, We Rainbow Road, probably one of the best Rainbow Roads of all time. What a fitting end to Mario Kart 8. The track is perfectly remade with a banging soundtrack of this song. In my opinion, it's better than the original. But the song wasn't too difficult to find a spot for. The original plan was to put this in Tomorrowland, but after listening to it again, it didn't fit. I think the only reason why I wanted it to go in Tomorrowland, it was because it took place in space. But I decided that since this was a fitting end to an amazing game, what about an amazing end to an amazing park experience? That's right, We Rainbow Road will be the soundtrack replacing Happily Ever After. This is controversial, and I do agree. Happily Ever After should never be replaced unless something can top it, which is extremely difficult to do. But the music makes it feel like an epic end to an amazing experience, and it felt keeping that feel would be best. Even though watching this with the overlay of music doesn't really fit, you're gonna need to remake an entire fireworks show for We Rainbow Road, which In the comments, another question, would you want a fireworks show dedicated to Mario Kart music? I would love to know. And there you have it. I had a blast coming up with these ideas and making this video for you guys. If you enjoyed and want to see more content, please like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the biggest channel with 162 subscribers as of me recording this. Even with me not uploading often because of school, I appreciate you guys so much for all the support. I get comments all the time for ideas on Disney Smash Bros. Or just telling me that they're excited to see more of my content. It feels really good and gives me more motivation to make videos for you guys. It may be slow, but it all will come together at the end. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys at the second star to the right, straight on till morning.